The distribution values and completed values. Or let me put something just for easy understanding. Now we have the quantities. Now in order to understand what is the distribution required, we can go for the short distribution. So you can see some exceptions. If there is anything which cannot be distributed, it will show the exceptions as well. So here what happened was we have two activities which are milestones, and then I have given some distribution values. So in such cases, we cannot distribute. So it will also identify where the issues are coming in as well. So now you can see the distribution is okay. There was no errors, nothing came in. So we can use this one for our summary. So we can use the summarize selected. We can use grouping apart from our WBS to have a much more better understanding of the requirements. So for the grouping, again, we can add more and more. We'll use the user-defined fields. Okay. So here I'm bringing two types of grouping. So we have one group is called an area and a type of activities like type A and type B activities. So this will help us in when you do the grouping and then drill down, it will help us. So I'm going for a summarize of this data so that we know what is the production requirements. For that, we can go for the summarize selected function, where it will ask what are the summary you want to do it. So we can do it on these two levels. And if you want to add this also, just press control and then go for the selection. And then it is asking whether you want to have any defined columns under the value columns. This will be creating a pivot for you. Can say yes, and then I want the distribution values. We can change the column names. I will change that also just for information. And it is asking whether you want to have individual ones or a cumulative ones. So if you give a cumulative ones, it will add up together to show you how the cumulative things will have. We'll go for a normal one now. So now you can see a summary has been created. This will help you in understanding what is the total production requirement, which is coming from area 1 and area 2, and also from type A and type B, how it is being. So when you have something from the schedule, you have to simply filter and then put it, then you will get you the histograms. So it can be in terms of man hours or whatever it may be, it is all our call. So basically, Plan Excel is a tool, and depending upon your requirements, you can further develop it to the level where in which your information is processed and you are getting the output the way you want it. So we have done on this. So now we want to monitor this. There are two options of monitoring. Either you can monitor here itself, or if you want to monitor in detail, we can convert this whole plan as a plan actual forecast, where in which you can track individual productions or individual periodic production and then get a forecast out of it. So we'll do the first method here, and then for the plan actual forecast, we'll use another format. So for example, if I'm saying that I have done 50 and then I'm going to record 50 as on 1st of February I completed, and here I 20. And in the settings, we have an option to provide the as on date. So this as on date, I'm saying that now it is on 1st of February. I am standing and I've done up to that actual quantities. Once you registered your actual quantities and then the as on date, then you can go for the short distribution again. This will take in whatever is actually done, and then it will redistribute the balance. So you have 100, 50 is done. Now the balance is what is being shown here. So like this, it is always redistributing the balanced quantities. And then since we are not changed any of the dates, it will follow the same dates. So for example, since it is already completed 50, and then we expect that this will be completed only in May. Now this is the new dates, what you have. So you can go for the short distribution. This will extend our forecast till May. Now we are also seeing only in the monthly production. Now, if you want to change into weekly production plan, you need to change the calendar from months to weeks. And then you can also select the format in which the date has to appear. Now your calendar is changed to weeks. I started from October, that's why it is. Whatever is not required, you can delete it. And then you can go for show distribution again. Now it is this completely has changed to weekly productions. So depending upon the period in which you want to do it, productions can be modified and the period can be modified. And then if you want to have more insights on the week itself, for example, in the week, we are not working all the days. So if you want to go for a daily target, or if the week is only 5 days, then that also can be done using the calendars. You can define multiple calendars. You can define which are the holidays and working days. And based on that, the whole thing will again reach a forecast based on the available working days. So this can be in between, but if you put exactly the as on date as the starting of the period, these numbers will exactly match with the completed values what we have. So for that, let's change this thing to 4th of February. So now you can see this is the total quantity contributed 70. This is coming from the 50 and 20. And the rest is all redistributed based on the durations what we have selected. So this way you're always in charge of the production, and then you are forecasting how the production has to change. So whenever you have a change in the calendar, you may have to recreate your summaries. So again, you can go in and select the weekly calendar. Now you're getting your weekly summaries. So this becomes your weekly targets. Now you have set our target as or the plan as this, and now we want to monitor this. Then we need to convert it into plan actual forecast. So in order to convert to plan actual forecast, I would request that we should not use this WPS. So we will park it. So for parking this thing, you can use a duplicate, which will duplicate the template. So just note that whenever a plan Excel is creating a template, it also creates one more sheet. This is called an option sheet, because whatever preferences or settings you are doing it on this template will be saved on this. So Plan Excel will not work without this option sheet in line with this current sheet, current template what you have. So you can duplicate it. So this will duplicate both the sheets so that you can use it for any other purpose. So you can give a new name. So we'll make it as plan actual forecast. So you can see that now this is P3 plan and this is sorry, L3 plan, and now is the L3 plan PAF. And then if you see there are two option sheets created. So this way it will align with the settings individually, one for this file and one for the other sheet. It cannot be interchangeably used. Now let me delete this WPS. So this is our quantitative targets. Now this is your quantitative targets. We will now create the plan actual forecast saying that now this is my targets from now on for each of this week. I want to monitor it to make sure that I know how the trend is happening and all the stuff. So for plan actual forecast, you have to use this create option. So it will ask you that this format is going to be changed. Do you want to continue? Because if once it is format is changed, you will not get back to this format easily. So it is better to either duplicate it or save it as a different file so that you can modify it if you want to do it. If you're not satisfied with the way you want, you have prepared it. So now since we have already duplicated it, we can go ahead with this. And it is asking from which calendar period you want to monitor. So I'll just select the whole thing that up to here I'm done it. Now the format has now changed now. You can see our entire format has been completely changed. That means now each of the line has been shifted into plan and there's a new actual and a forecast. So whatever we have done up to the cutoff date. So we set our cutoff date as 4th of February. The actual has been registered. The forecast is also same as the actual. And from there onwards, whatever was the plan is we set is now the forecast itself. This is now fixed. We cannot change this now. And whatever new things what will happen, it will happen on this. And based on this new updates, what will happen, it will start reflecting on your forecast here. This way, we have set the targets. Now we are going to have a detailed analysis on how we are performing. And we have kept all our groupings. So all these groupings can be helpful for us in identifying the targets, what is set for each group, where we are heading, and where we have to really focus and do our work. So this is the PF feature of Plan Excel. I will also update few things just for understanding. So here I did number 20. So what's the So we are going to give an update as of 11th of February. So you can change your as on date. 11th of February. And you can again run it. So now you can see, now you have a new forecast based on the balance what we have. Earlier it was 50 balance, now it is only 30 balance. Now your forecast has changed depending upon how you wanted to change. So we have done extra here. So all of this again can be summarized in a pivot form where you can easily understand what is the performance. For that, for all the tabular reports, we can go for the summarize option. So it is asking what are the schedule headings you want to put it. So again, we'll go with the same option. Data columns, can say yes. So plan actual forecast. For here, when you are selecting the calendar duration, you have to select only during the using the plan actual forecast columns. So you can see now a summary pivots have been created. So there are two pivots created. One pivot is related to a summary level and the other pivot is for the grouping level. The main function of these two are when you talk from this point of view, if the items are can be combined, so that means whatever you put on the plan actual forecast can be combined together for all the commodities, then this will work for you because whenever you change your grouping levels, it will be easy for you to identify. For example, see when you see from this point of view, if this number is not clear because we are already adding all the plan actual for again. So we need to take it out. So if you take like that, then you have for each plan, what is the required and from where the requirement is coming. and where you have progressed in your actuals. So this is your summary. So you can keep on changing how you want to see the data. So this is only at the type A level. This is at the detail level. So depending upon your requirements, you add as many number of groupings you want, and then you can take out the information in for in a printable form or whatever it may be. For example, if I want to see this is the plan and the actually in the total level, but if I want to see only on activity A, I got to pull that inside. Then for each activity A, what is plan actual forecast? So you can take it to any level. Means under type A, what is plan actual forecast? So this will remain as it is on your top, but you will start building your detailing below. So that is the uh, purpose of it. This is the plan actual forecast. Then when we comes to the dashboard, you will see all the curves and how the can see the rundown curves and all. Because now we are seeing the plan actual forecast. Now here itself, if we want to see it in a different way, for example, we are seeing here the quantity in a periodic number on. But if you want to see how the cumulative is looking, then that also can be seen with the same functions. For that, in the distribution, in the settings, in the distribution, you can go for either a cumulative values or you can go for a rundown values. So if you go for a cumulative values, once you select your settings, save it, and then go for your distribution. So this distribution is showing you how you're going to achieve your targets in cumulative. So for each of those lines, you can see how it is. This is a simple cumulative, how to reach the 100 in this particular case. I'm just taking an example to show you. So this is the cumulative S curve. Now, if you want to see in the other way around, that means you want to see the rundown. Again, in the distribution, you can change your rundown and go for show distribution. So this will build the other way around from 100 to 0, how you're doing it. So now if you see the curve here, so it's- so let me take it back. So it looks, you can see it is going like this from the top to the bottom. So in some reports, somebody probably people will ask for this types of report to see how it is progressing. So this is the way. Okay, so if you want to, okay, so we have seen the two settings. We can also do some redistribution based on the curves. For example, let me out.